Okay, let's go ahead and start the meeting. Our agenda today is the California Party Assembly District election is going on now through January 27th. And we're going to talk to 3 members who are on slates for that. Our featured speaker who follows is Michael Hilsick, a Pulitzer Prize winning columnist from the LA Times. And then we'll do announcements and previews of upcoming meetings. The California Assembly District election. The Assembly District delegates, there are about 3,000 delegates of the California Democratic Party, 1,120 of whom are elected from the individual assembly districts, in 14 per assembly district. They serve 2-year terms, attending one state Democratic convention per year. They can join caucuses, they can be appointed to committees, and they create party rules, platform planks, resolutions, endorsements, and elect party members. The last day to register for a ballot was last week, so hopefully many of you did. To be counted, your mailed ballots must be received by 5 p.m. on Wednesday, January 27th. 4 slates are running in AD 66, and the info about all 4 sites is on our website. We're going to talk to 3 of them today. This is what the ADEM election ballot looks like. As you can see, it's just a list of names. The names have behind them otherwise self-identified female or other than self-identified female. They also have an asterisk which denotes which people would like to be on the executive board. If you're voting, you should vote for 1 executive board member and then 13 others. If you applied for a ballot and it hasn't arrived yet, contact adem@kdem.org. Next slide. Remember to turn over your ballot and put your ID number on the opposite side in this particular area. Your personal voter ID number is on the cover letter that came with the ballot. Next slide. Our first member who's on a slate is Tony Hale, and he's going to describe the delegates for a stronger Democratic Party slate. Tony?
Thank you. Tony Hale here. I'm your current executive board member for the California Democratic Party. I'm proud to have been a 3-term president of the Palos Verdes Democrats. I'm endorsed for executive board and delegate by Congressman Ted Lieu, Senator Ben Allen, and Assemblymember Al Morisucci. Party leaders like Los Angeles County Democratic Party Chair Mark Gonzalez and Vice Chair Sergio Carrillo and former State Controller John Chung also endorsed me for both positions. As a lifelong progressive, I am endorsed by the Progressive Democratic Club. I'm honored to be running with the most diverse group of local activists, including delegates and new activists, and the only full slate of candidates running for delegate, including your president, Kathleen Bradford, and Palos Verdes resident Courtney Jerome Williams, who, along with his wife Kenya, started a Biden campaign on the peninsula. You can find the full bios and videos for our candidates at adem2021.com. That's ADEM2021.com. Over the past few days, we have seen a group of outside groups registering voters in our district. We don't know who they are or who they're supporting, but there are some 1,900 voters that have been registered. There are suspicions that this is an attempt to take over the California Democratic Party. So I urge you to vote for our slate of seasoned activists to make sure that local representatives, local Democratic Club leaders, representatives from every city in our district are elected. That's ADEM 2021 for more information. Thank you.
Thank you, Tony. And now we'll hear from Timothy Byer, who's representing the People Over Profit slate.
Thank you very much. It's an honor to be here. Although I've been, for most of my life, a resident of Lomita, I have grown up with many people in Palos Verdes, so my ties to Palos Verdes go way back, and I'm really impressed at the work this club has done to kind of push Palos Verdes to the left. our club is an unabashedly progressive slate, and we can boast endorsements from many groups, such as the Progressive Caucus, Our Revolution, Roots Action, that's the majority of our slate, DSA Long Beach and LA, most of our slate, Sunrise, most of our slate, and the California Democratic Party Renters Council, most of our slate. And I received the Progressive Democratic Club endorsement as well, where I'm a second trustee. We also received full slate endorsements from the Progressive Asian Network for Action, the Kids 2017, which is a group that where they go to an orphanage and feed meals to kids. And also the entire slate, among other candidates, received an endorsement from State Assembly candidate Fatima Iqbal Zubair. Now, just to give you a quick overview of what our different members have done, we have Argentina Rodriguez, a 22-year LAUSD teacher who's very active in UTLA South area, California Teachers Association, National Educators Association, CFT, and AFT. We have Kathy Ben, who's active in San Pedro Neighbors for Peace and Justice, and she's done a lot of anti-war activism and is a local journalist. We have 3 people that were delegates for Bernie Sanders. That's RG Wong, Brian Careless, and I was also a Bernie delegate. And we have one of the founders of Torrance for Justice, that's Brian Huang. Torrance for Justice has done great work, anti-racist work, for example, defending Christopher DeAndre Mitchell in Torrance. And then we have 2 more youth organizers, Adam Schwartz and Nico Gardner-Sterna. They both are active in Never Again Action LA. Adam is also active in If Not Now, and Nico is one of the Sunrise Project leaders. I'm very proud of our work, and we have multiple people that have worked with Torrance Refinery Action Alliance over the years on a ban of MHF, and we have multiple organizers that work for SB 562, which would establish single payer at the state level, and in conjunction with work from California nurses. And many of us have worked on affordable housing policies to reduce homelessness, which I think is particularly meaningful in this pandemic. And I've talked to both of the state party chair candidates, and I believe that at some point I can evaluate which one I believe embodies our policies better. But thank you very much for giving me a chance to speak. And that's it.
Okay. And now for John Munoz, representing the Aviators and Sneakers slate. John, you'll have to unmute yourself.
Hi, my name is John Munoz, and I'm running as delegate on the Aviators and Sneakers slate for District 66. I'm honored to be part of the slate, which does include a lot of incumbents and people who've been highly involved. My experience in terms of my experience has been that I'm relatively new to this. This is the first time I've ever run as a delegate. My interest in this was jump-started in the summer of 2019, where I was an attendee at a number of Pete Buttigieg for President fundraisers, and that sort of gave me a front row view to a lot of the fundraising process and political process. And as well, I also worked recently on the Georgia Equality fundraiser for that Pete Buttigieg was featured at. Other volunteer work included canvassing and phone banking as well on the Pete Buttigieg campaign, Biden-Harris, Georgia Senate runoff, and various Get Out the Vote initiatives. In terms of volunteering experience, I've also done a lot of volunteering experience for Project Angel Food, as well as various substance abuse hotlines. I'm honored to be a part of this slate, including people like Tony Salvaggio and his experience being on this slate, as well as others. And I'm honored to be a newcomer as well. Thanks, and thanks for giving me the opportunity to speak.
Next set of charts that we have a few announcements and just take a few minutes. Okay. First one, some of you might have gotten an email, but in case you did, there is a email address at the bottom of this at the LA County Democratic Party.org/inaugural. Anyway, they're having a Los Angeles County Democratic Party virtual event via Zoom, And a lot of our top leaders are going to be there. They're listed here on this page, including, you know, our Ted Lieu and Maxine Waters, Brad Sherman, Katie Porter, Alex Padilla, our new U.S. Senator, and our mayor, and California Democrat Party Chair Rusty Hicks. So please join us. Just alert you if you haven't seen the email. On the next announcement, so I want to recognize Carol Muller. She has an announcement in terms of Dr. Martin Luther King's legacy, and it is tomorrow, Dr. Martin Luther King's Day. So Carol?
Somewhat lost in all that's going on in DC is that tomorrow we celebrate the legacy of Dr. King. And the very first line of his famous speech, he quotes the Declaration of Independence saying, "I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. Quote, we hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal." As the horrible events leading up to the 2020 Black Lives Matter marches prove, we have a long, long way to go before any of our citizens, or before many of our citizens would agree with that. Imagine how infuriated those racists feel, yet how blessed Dr. King would feel knowing that the people of the United States of America have elected a woman of African American descent to be our first female vice president. Further on in his dream speech, Reverend King states, "I have a dream that one day on the red hills of Georgia, the sons of former slaves and the sons of former slave owners will be able to sit down together at the table of brotherhood." Well, Georgians heard him. Wouldn't Dr. King be proud and amazed that the people elected a Black pastor who has been a preacher in his very own Ebenezer Baptist Church to represent the state of Georgia in the United States Senate? So let's celebrate tomorrow and give thanks to all those who helped make these accomplishments possible. I know many of you on this Zoom call are among those who worked hard to help enable us to get to this point. So let's redouble our efforts and not forget how very far we still have to go to fulfill Dr. King's very big dream.
Thank you very much. Okay, one other announcement I had to do with Judy Mitchell. So we all got introduced to Judy Mitchell. Thank you for joining us with Michael Hilzick. And because we were going to have her speak, but I interviewed her offline. She's a retiring member of the South Coast Air Quality Management District. She's Rolling Hills Estate City. She retired also from the Rolling Hills Estate City Council. And so this interview will be in our Palos Verdes Democrats February newsletter. So just wanted everybody to look forward to that, that interview, and Judy has a lot to say. Okay, and then in terms of our, if you go to the next chart, just want to preview for the next meetings. So in February, we're going to have a meeting that is focused on connecting the connection before content, what is working with online learning. I'm putting together a panel discussion with educators. I have a number of people on the panel, but if you are an educator and want to participate, if you want to contact me through our website, I will talk to you in terms of how you can participate. And then in March, you know, we have a new DA in town, and so we're going to reimagine criminal justice, and we're inviting Stephen Downing from Law Enforcement Action Partnership to talk. I also have an invite out to the new DA Cascon. I haven't heard back from that one, but we're going to reimagine criminal justice in March. Okay, and
Anne?
Go ahead.
One last thing, we had gotten an email from Dempsey Nelson saying that we should all fly our flags on Inauguration Day. We want to take back from the seditionists our flag. So a good start would be to fly it on Inauguration Day.
Thank you, Carol. I also want to, I see in the chat, Doug Bender put it in, and Indivisible South Bay is having Congressman Liu as their main speaker. I think it's the second Saturday in February. So yeah, first Saturday, February 6th at 2 o'clock. So check out Congressman Liu at South Bay Indivisible.